4 hours practicing, and sometimes, but Dripchen is related to whole day practice and 8 days. And that's just an example. And they do right now, I think it just finished the last night, is there. There's 7 or 8 different groups practicing. They make sand mandala and the ritual, Lama dance, the fire puja, and show the big pankas like this, right? Huge, and so forth. Then many Dharma practitioners, they do in this time for some sort of take vow, special vow, and make a commitment to become a vegetarian for this month and so forth. But they always emphasize this month is a very special month. And in the general, time is very interesting. And a lot of people are saying that it's true. Time is the most valuable something, right? If you lose, then it's never come back. If you look at that, but that's just true. And the time is our life. And as Dharma practitioners, time is Dharma. Time is gaining some insight realizations, right? Though someone work, the time is money too. Wealth. And so forth. But here, time itself doesn't have any characteristics. That means that, this is something, a Sunday, or this is a Monday, or this is a special something, right? Yeah, we don't have that in the time itself. But and it's depend on one's motivations. It's depend on one's aspirations and all causes and conditions. It comes together, then time is very special. And this month, I'm talking about this Sakadawa in this month. From Buddhist perspective, it's very special because Buddha was born in this month, in even a calendar saying this at this today, and also enlightenment and parinirvana when he passed away and occur same day. That is marked as a special day. As I mentioned, time itself doesn't have any particular something, but through aspiration of the Buddha, Shakyamuni, and his devotees' motivations, right? Then every devotee's commitment, all put it together, then it's valuable, it's special. And so here, then, in the general and the people's life is similar. Buddha is one of human being, very special one. And in the general, like us, we don't have choice when we born, right? The locations, everything. And also, its death is similar. Unchoice, there's choiceless. It's occur. But between there and many activities, we do have choice. As Buddhist followers, Dharma practitioners, then have to look at the Buddha's life. It's a great example. It's enlightenment, right? Buddha was born in the Lumbini, right now it's in Nepal, and in the royal family. This is why we have to learn something from his life, why he chose a spiritual path, and what matters something for him. That's what we have to look at. And also, as it's a great example, that we can take some of his essence of the Dharma, what he thinks is a valuable something. As human beings, we should learn from it. So then, he was born, and he has a great life. And everybody, most people have desire, have good family, and fame, wealth, and power, right? Everything. But he already have those things. But Buddha was a special being, very compassionate one. That doesn't make fulfilled his wishes. You see it. There are lots of troubles, suffering. Particular suffering from birth, aging, illness, and the death. And that's is the first, we can say a first teacher of him, right? It's a wake up. And even though he thought, this is why we as human beings, we have to learn. He thought, even though he lives in the palace, having good families, good life, that doesn't mean he was beyond of the suffering. You have to go through this. Doesn't matter what kind of circumstances he live, go through this process, right? And then he was looking something, the remedy of the end of the suffering. So that's how he took a spiritual path. It's not easy because he had to leave his palace. He had to abandon temporarily, or later, maybe permanently, and worldly something. Everybody desires something. So then he see those patterns. People desire power, wealth, and or whatever. General people, we have desire, if I have this, then that makes me happy, right? Some that kind of patterns. And he see that that's just the troubles. As long as we hold it on the ego clinging, that me and the mind, and the craving things, then empty mind have built strong bad habitual patterns, never ever satisfied. Maybe temporarily, then the patterns are just carrying whole life. The endless of the suffering. Then of course, Buddha took a spiritual path, right? There's no the great Buddhist teacher. He's the first the Buddhist teacher, right? The later. And at that time was very popular. There's a spiritual teacher, of course, in India, the Hindu tradition we called, and then he against many of it, like caste systems and so forth, and the creators, and he against those philosophically. And then he took spiritual path, ascetic practice. The ascetic practice is, I think, almost the major traditions. They do have that kind of the practice. But he did. But he saw this is not completely path. Even though if you don't eat the hardship something, that doesn't mean that eliminating the kleshas. Klesha is related to the mind, right? It influences the body, but itself is not the physical thing. If you really want to purify the klesha, then it's related to the mind. That's why he sees the problem as one is that illness, impermanent changing, right, life, and the ending. This is just the nature of this phenomena. The fundamental, it's not fundamental nature. The nature is two types of natures. One is a relative nature, cause and fate, and there is something arising and ceasing, right? It's moving, instantaneously changing. That is a relative truth. And then that's just let's go through everyone. Human being is not special something. It's the same as animals, the same as the trees, flowers, and other stuff is there. And then the point here is that enlightenment. That's Buddha was enlightened, right? That's he was looking. Permanently remove all the problems. He sees is that the root of what we don't see, we have problem, is that ego clinging. Before the Buddha, the people has a different ideas of the self, cherishing of the self, based on that, doing lots of things. You see that what we clinging on something is not there. Liberation is we have to get rid of the ego. Selfish, self-centered attitude. As long as we hold on this very strongly, there is no way we can get rid of the problems. Ego-centered view is the problem. But that is it's based on the ignorance. Based on this, he taught a lot of teachings, selflessness. And these teachings is not only belief, the path on the belief systems. This is the path on the prajna, wisdom. We have to see it through the investigate it, through the examine it, and the Buddha It's showing what it is, right? We have to go through. And then also he's saying that there is no one can liberate it to someone else. That means that I can't liberate it someone else. Buddha, even though he's a very compassionate being, wants help sentient beings free from suffering. But he doesn't have the power to do this. He doesn't have power to remove all sentient beings' sufferings. He says that, and also his realization, right? What he understood. He can't transmit that to someone else. He has power to show the right, correct path. And someone have to go through this path. This path is, we call it middle path, middle way, used in the term Mahayana Buddhist view. And the middle way means that we have middle way philosophy, right? The great, after the Buddha, great one is Nagarjuna. He synthesized all the Buddhist teachings, put it in some, logically explained it clearly. Of course, this is all teachings related to the Buddha's teachings. And here, the middle way philosophy, and they're talking about the sublessness. It's the same thing. There is no permanent self. Why I'm saying this? Enlightenment. It's not out there something, or someone to give it to us. Enlightenment is we have to wake up. We have to understand. It's not simple, easy to do this without any someone, great beings, one who realized and guided and taught those methods is the key for us. Then those methods saying that we have to look inwardly oneself. If you look at physically, there is no the self. And that's how, in the middle way, philosophies analyzed. And there's two legs. Each of is not self. There's two arms. It's not the self, and so forth. And to go through this, you can find any that you can see is identified as the self in the body. But without investigating, and then we hold on, the body is self. The patterns, ego, right? Not only the body. Sometimes we hold it, name is self. Sometimes we think family is self. Sometimes we think the possessed things is self. As long as we hold on something, grasping, it's become a kind of the self. Sometimes we hold it, the self is feelings and the views, opinions, and the groups. Yeah, those are how is constructed. The build, and the building something is based on the habitual patterns. It's not good patterns. Based on ignorance through, and to removing the problem is that we have to understand clearly. And so, if you investigate it, the body itself also doesn't exist permanently, something there. The body, its name is relabeled, right? Things we can see something and we labeled as a body. If you're careful looking, this is the middle way. approach. We have to see it truth, absolute truth. Relatively, this all things put it together is formed something, right? Like a body, it exists. Of course, the Buddha, he can't deny this. And then relatively, he says that if common sense, we have to go with it. If everybody agrees something, then just not arguing, we have to go with it. But that doesn't mean it's a true truth, something. This common sense of the human, we have same patterns, something, we see something, then we agree something. That doesn't mean all sentient beings are seeing exactly the same. Others has different opinions. Even humans, in humans, we do have different opinions, something, right? So that says that it's not there truly exist. And here, my point here is that what I'm talking about, enlightenment, that's Buddha's main purpose, why he took a spiritual path. And we have to gain in that kind of realization, right? This is the antidote of the suffering. Without realization, we can't get rid of the problems. From Dharma point of view. And it's beneficial. It's very the profound. We call it in the profound, the vast, profound in the Dharma teachings, right? So here, now, go back to the body first. Then we can go to the mind. This is the body and the mind, combination of this, the relative that we call the self. To realize selflessness, then, even just thinking about, there is no self, that doesn't mean we realize the selflessness. Or we just say, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, or some teachers or teachings are saying this, there is no self, so I agree with it. That doesn't mean that we understand the selflessness. Great teacher like Shakyamuni Buddha says there is no permanent, truly single existent self. It's truth, but to understand this level of reality, we have to go through, examine it, right? Use our intelligence. As human beings, we do have special mind. We call it prajna. Clearly understand. So use that and the reasonings and check our body. As I said, without checking, sometimes we clinging, the body is the self. And sometimes most time, from birth until now, my body is my body, just one thing. But reality is not one thing. It's always changing. And the body has many parts, right? As I said, name of body is labeled. The conceptual, the body, is fabricated. And check one's own body, there's many parts. Each part is not a body. We don't have many bodies. It's just only one body, right? It's my body. Then, we do have many philosophies. Buddhism, right? Buddhism, there's Shavakayanas, Paticca This is, sometimes we use terms Hinayana. And in the Tibetan Buddhism, use. Why I'm saying, those all taught by Buddha, according to the disciples' capabilities at that moment, they can understand at that level of the reality. and some part of teachings. Even though Buddha knew it, he explained someone else. But he can't talk about it. Some listeners is a little bit careful when he taught. When he says sub-listeners or emptiness, many of his disciples are afraid of those terms. Says this, please, don't say this. It's threatening. Because everybody has belief, there's self, right? Suddenly saying that there's no self, it's kind of losing something. It's threatening. But and we heard many times, even we are not sensitive of those topics. But sometimes maybe it doesn't make sense. But when you carefully think about it, then you can find peace. Oh, the Buddha's talking about this sub-listeners. I think that this is the way we can find peace and relax and happy within ourselves, within sub-listeners. And yeah, I'm going to a little bit talk about a further philosophy here. So, then what is the body? There's a whole, the body is labeled, right? Many things put it together. Of course, we do have body. This is a Shavaka's point of view. We usually take example as body, but it's not body, everything. Things that we see. And saying that, there's partless particle. If you take a body, we can say the body has 2 arms, 2 legs, and organs and the head. And we can take a part of it, right? There's no core something there. Then what about the something there? This is partless particle. You can't take it parts. Very subtle. Everything, right? Very subtle. Partless particle exists. That is a building block of this form, of this phenomena. That exists, they said. That really exists. So, then that is a reality. And that is we call it lower vehicles. It's not just normal people, normal like us. We see it, these bodies exist, right? And the Shavaka school saying this body is a compounded, labeled. We fabricated, build something. We think their bodies truly exist, but it's not. But there's a subtle partless particle that you can't break it down further and further. That is truly exist. That's how we built in this body. And then Madhyamaka saying that, no. Oh, yeah, Chitta Martin school. We can go to the mind-only school. Mind-only school says, this is all within the Buddhism. When you check your body doesn't exist, right? Similar, use that method. Partless particle, you say partless particle, but if you take that small, we call it subtlest particle, even if you break further that reality, it will disappear. There is no substance, something truly exists there. But this phenomena, we see here something. There must be something. Then there's a mind. there is very subtle mind, awareness. The subtle mind exists. And so the Madhyamaka, that truly exists. That means really it's there. That's why these things occur, right? Madhyamaka saying that there is no such truly exist there. If you look at mind, you can't find any truly exist mind there. If you look at the substance, there's no not truly exist, it's there. There's no such truly exist, the fundamental level of the reality. Therefore, it appears anything. It appears human being. It appears and this phenomena occur. It appears mind. It appears like a substance. This is interdependent. It exists. Interdependent. There's no fundamentally nothing truly exists. Therefore, it's allowing anything. Relatively. So, look at that view. That view, fundamentally, it's free from anything, right? There is no self. That's what we have to understand. It's free from the self. That's what we call the liberation. Liberation is merely exhausted of the confusion. And that is not outside there or some places or someone granted to us. That's we have to understand. Buddha's searching that. He relied on the spiritual teachers. He meditated particular 6 years. And then finally he said it's not there. That's within us. It's always within us. It's the nature of the mind. We call it Buddha, right? Sangye, in Sanskrit terms Buddha. Sangye in the Tibetan. Sang means purified of the karma and kleshas. Karma and klesha is not fundamentally there. Yeah, it's not fundamentally there. And it's arising, right? Yeah, it's arising. And then, purifying karma and kleshas. J means manifest. Innate qualities of the mind is manifest. And this level, the fundamental level of the reality, it's incomprehensible. It's not object of the conceptual mind. It's inconceivable. And within this level of reality, it's one who understand, one who meditate, whatever, then we can find meaningful life. It's eliminated confusions, it's eliminated and it dissolved the kleshas and all the bad habitual patterns. We can dissolve it within that realization. One of the great achievements of the Buddha is enlightenment, right? That's marked his special being. That he shared many, many years in different ways, directly, indirectly, depends the disciples' capabilities. This is a great gift for the humanities. That's why we celebrate like Buddha Shakyamuni. With that kind of realization, then we can find a meaningful life and a happy life. And there's a way can end of end of the suffering completely. So something like that, I think. We can stop there. And if you have any questions, please raise hand. And please go ahead.
So Khenpo, the Buddha was married and had a family, and he decided to go off on a path of enlightenment. And it didn't mean that he did not love and care about his family.
Yeah, of course he does.
But he also saw that the love that you give to a family, although we think is high love, that there's actually a higher love that can be given, which is bodhicitta.
Yeah.
So could you talk more about how we can cultivate bodhicitta and not feel guilty about letting go of the attachment to family?
Okay. Yeah. If you look at the Buddha's life, just only part of it. Sometimes we have to look at how the end of his life. And then what happened, this whole family. If you're just only looking, he abandoned his wife, he abandoned his kids and kingdom and, then, he doesn't care about this, some sort of, but he cared about his families, his kingdom, the all sentient beings. He's looking something better for end of the problems. He loved, he cared about those beings, right? That's why he took, it could be at that moment, it's very painful there, the kingdom, you can see some of the stories. But sometimes difficult journey is very important something that we have to bear some, difficult situations. But then end of this, his wife, his kids become arhats, right? Liberated. And all his kingdom. And until you can see, over 2,500 years, we remembered that kind of being. He took spiritual path. If he just stayed there, taking care of his family through the attachment or desire or whatever, maybe he can do, maybe 20 years, 30 years, then end. He can't benefit, long term something. yeah, he did amazing thing, and here, and so he helped his family, even though we remembered it's there, his wife, his kids, and his father, mother, kingdom, and everything. If he's just stay in the palace at that time, even few, maybe centuries, everybody forget. There's no one to remember it, right? And it's beneficial what he discovered. Everybody's looking something outside. If I have this, then I will be okay. I have this, then I will be okay. Some sort of. He sees that's the problems. Desire, right? We hold it, some patterns built. They're endless. And also long term, that's how we caught up in samsara. Our mind doesn't have any characteristics. That means that male, female, any genders, all the human being or animals, and any type of this kind. But some way we get the form of this, then we do certain things. Oh, that's me. That's lots make the confused. They're doing something. Then the next time, another something, and they're doing exactly the same. The endless, and to go through this birth, aging, sickness, death. It's not just one time. It's just circling, right? Sometimes up, sometimes down, sometimes just so. So all the troubles he sees. That's why he look the long term, how we can end of this problem, suffering. He sees that's not out there, or someone come to us and save or granted something. We as human being has very special capability to awake up, to understand the inside of the mind. And so that's his message. I think it's very, very helpful. And sometimes even just read some of his sutras. It's medicine for the mind. He taught about it. Contentment, it's very important. If you can live in the simple life, that will be beneficial. We are here as a temporary, not only for us in the past. Billions human beings came here in the left. So now we are here, then we will soon will be gone, and another is coming, and they do the same thing. Live harmoniously as much as possible. If you can have the ability to help others, that would be great. Even though if you don't have any ability to help others, let's don't harm intentionally, verbally, mentally, physically, whatever kind of form of it. Cultivate loving kindness, compassion if you can. Try to actualize one's innate nature of reality. Be within that the reality. That will be good. Then don't clinging too much this phenomena. That makes troubles. We don't have power to hold it on. It's just have to go with this, moving. Even in our body, we can't hold it on forever. It's the same thing. Just enjoy and use wisely, and our life while we are here. Something like that. Okay, what else?